Hey mom, I've got another little workout for you. So this one's going to be a little different than the earlier one. Uh, it's going to still be 20 minutes, so 20 minutes is all you're going to be moving, but some different exercises just to kind of shake things up a little bit. So again, I'm going to time the intervals. I think it's personally, I really like working with intervals because you're working for 20 minutes, but you're changing things, you're doing different things so you don't get bored. And if one thing is too hard or one thing is really challenging, you'll be done with it within a minute at the very, very most, and you can move on to the next thing. The other thing I want to say about working intervals is I'm going to give you some new ones this time. But if any of them don't work, if you don't like them, then think of one of the ones we did last time and just sub that in. It doesn't matter. Just keep moving. And so that's a good thing about intervals is that you can kind of change them up and be like, I want to do this one, but not this one, and just do something different. We're going to use weights again, so resistance training. Have a couple of weights. If you can, I'm going to use 5 pounds the whole time this time, and that would be what I would recommend. On some of them, I'm going to say go lighter or go without a weight at all, and so we'll just do the resistance without the weights. But if you can get something in your hands for at least a couple of them, I guess that will be helpful. So I'm just going to get started right away. And the first chunk, we're not going to use weights at all. So we're just going to do a warm-up, and we're going to do a series of exercises, 30 seconds apiece, no weights this first round through. All right? You ready? If you're not ready, pause it, and then get ready. So nothing other than the weights needed special, okay? All right, let's get going. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do like a diagonal cross side. So we're going to start right now, and here's what you're going to do. You're going to kick one leg and reach the arm opposite, and then stretch the other leg out. And it's not even so much kicking. You can't see my feet, but I'm just putting my toe on the floor. You can, of course, do this more vigorously. If you have a hard time getting the arms up over the ears, you can bring them more across the body. But see if you can just stretch. So you're stretching opposite. This is just a warm-up here. So go as quick as you want. You can move the tempo here. You can bend the knees and sink down if you want to. That's it. So that's the first one. Next, we're going to do hamstring curls, which is the heels kick back, and then we're going to punch opposite. So we're going to pull the heel up and then punch. So we're doing a lot of stuff across the body in this set. Do the best you can. If you need to do these without arms, do them without arms. Or if you start working your arms and like it just doesn't make sense and your body wants to kick the other leg and the opposite arm, totally fine. Do what you need to do. Now we're going to do knee lifts, and we're going to bring the opposite elbow towards the knee. So as you do this, and again, I'm going really slow right now, go faster if you can. And you can get your torso into it and crunch so that you start to work the abdominals a little bit. The higher you lift the knee, the more you can cross over. So do what you can. If this is where you're at today, be here. If you can go deeper, get into it a little bit more, get into it a little more. All right, next, lunges. These do not need to be long. We're going to step back. So one foot's going to go back. Let me take it from the side so you can see a little better. Back, and you can bend that front knee and then step forward. Back, the front knee bends over the ankle, so your shin is perpendicular to the floor. If you can go further, go further. If you can take it faster, take it faster. If you're not my mom and are doing this workout, go for it. But mom, don't hurt your knees. Next, really simple, hands to your hips. We're just going to move the hips around in a big circle. One direction, we'll go about half the time in one direction, and then we'll change directions. So we're only going 30 seconds, so it's not super long. And let's switch directions, going the other way. We're going to do each of these intervals only 30 seconds each time we go through them. The weight sets we'll do for a little longer when we get to the weight sets. And that's it. And then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to raise our legs to the side. So just pick up the leg straight and lift it up off the floor. And then the other side, straight up and off the floor. And again, the hands can come to your hips. If you want to move it into a more vigorous arm situation, you can push the arms up as you lift the legs. And anytime you want to quicken this, you can quicken this. If you want to bend the knees when you come down, you can bend the knees when you come down. So there's a lot of things you can do to modify it to make it a little more vigorous. And that's our rest. So that was it. That was a really simple warm-up, and it gets the body moving a little bit, and now we're going to start to add our weight sets. We got a minute of rest going on now, so if you need to take some water, take some water. You feel like, hey, I'm a little warmed up, but I'd like to stretch. Then maybe, again, putting your foot on something, sinking the hips towards the heel. You can spend more than 2.5 seconds like I'm doing sinking in, so you might want to say count to 5 or even 10 when you do something like that. If you can take a forward fold, take a forward fold. You're stretching the hamstrings when you forward fold, but you can keep the knees really bent. Mostly think of lengthening the spine. So if you can get down to the floor, if you can reach your toes, that's fine. If you can't reach your toes, don't worry about it. Maybe roll up, maybe roll the shoulders back. So this really is a rest, but I'm not making it super restful. We're still stretching. We're just taking it easy. And we've got we're going to go right into our first set. So we're going to do those diagonals again. Foot out, and then the arm reaches the opposite. This is just, and now if you're taking it more up-tempo, the knees can bend each time you come to center. Opposite, opposite. Good. So just keep going with this, moving. Do the best you can. The arms need to come more in front. Let them come in front, but see if you can extend. Reach, reach, reach. Pick up the weights. Our first weight set, simple bicep curls. We've done these before, but let's go ahead and keep the hands straight forward this time. So we're going to do both simultaneously if you can. Come down and up, and I'm going really slow here. Slow is good. It can keep you in control. Sometimes lose the screen here, so then I think it's still recording, and it probably is, but from the side. Elbows stay by the sides. If you need to take it up, you can take it a little faster, but you don't want to start to turn this into an aerobic exercise where you're using momentum. If this is hard on your back, you can bend your knees. A little soft knee and a navel pulled in is going to keep the core muscles engaged. Take your weights down. Let's go back to our movement. So we're going to punch across and kick up the heel. Punch. And more you can get into it. You can get into it as much as you want. So these are hamstring curls for the back leg, and then just punch. So we're just crossing the body. I'll show you from the side. We're just going across at a diagonal. Just using energy. We're kind of just, this is the kind of thing you could do waiting in line. Don't punch someone, but I mean, you don't have to take up a lot of space. Grab those weights again. We're going to do the same tricep and row that we did last time, but we're going to combine them. A little soft knee, lengthen the spine. We're going to row in, keep the shoulders up, row, and then we're going to go right to our tricep press. And then we're going to come down, and then let the arms come down. And then row, extend for your tricep. Let the tricep release, and then come down. So this set, we're doing only 30 seconds on just the movement intervals without weights. The weight sets we're doing for 45 seconds this round through. 3, 2, 1. Put the weights down. We're going to go back to the third set of exercises here, which is the knee to the elbow. In and across. So alternating. Across, across. I realize that this sequence is a little more complicated. So I'm going to try to stay with you and mention what we're doing every time. And again, if you can't remember, you get lost, if you get confused, just do jumping jacks, step side to side, anything, just keep moving. Good. Pick up the weights again. We're going to use the weights, and here I'm going to give you a shoulder exercise. If this is hard on your shoulders, what I'm going to suggest is that you do, let me give you the real exercise first. So, in, and then the arms are going to come down, but keep the elbows up, and then draw them in. Out, up, down, elbows level with the shoulders, and in. So this is like a butterfly and a shoulder press. If this is hard on your shoulders, you can do a row here, standing upright. Just pull up, pull up. You can go without the weights and just press the hands forward. Press the hands forward. All right, we're going into our next exercise without weights, which is our lunges. So again, from the front, you can't really see very well what I'm doing. You can keep your hands here on your hips, and we're just stepping back. Little steps are all you need. So if all the further you're going is there, that's fine. The front knee stays bent, but the back leg can straighten. If you start to get into a deeper lunge, then maybe that back knee bends and you lunge down. Front knee always over the ankle. Let's go ahead and pick those weights up again. Okay, I'm going to show you this one. Well, I'll show it with weights. But you can do this without weights. We're going to do an extended arm. We're going to lift the arms up, straight up, and then take it down. And then we're going to take them out to the side, and then straight down. This is much more challenging with an extended arm to work with a heavy weight. So for me, this is as heavy as I would ever go, 5 pounds. If you are working with no weight at all, that's fine. The arms come straight up as high as the shoulders, no higher, and then slowly lower down. Control, no momentum here. No weights if it bothers the shoulders, if it bothers the back in any way. Let's take the weights down. And we're going to go into our hip circles here. Yeah, right? I keep having to check back with what I said I would do. So just moving the hips around as far as you can. So imagine you're just trying to reach as big of a circumference to this circle that you're making as possible. You can lean forward, you can lean back, and then switch directions. Let yourself go the other way. You can keep hands on the hips, whatever makes the most sense to you here. Okay, and then the last exercise we're going to do, we did the last time. So bring those weights in, and just hold them center, and we're just going to twist. So those two things combined, it's a little bit of work for the core of the body, the abdominals, getting into the obliques. This is low impact. This stuff is all low impact. Until you start to take yourself into a jump, it's going to be pretty easy to do, but it's moving. And adding that little bit of resistance, even if it's not very heavy, is just going to start to build a little bit of muscle. And eventually, you can start to get a little stronger and things can get a little more vigorous. This is just where we're starting, right? Good. Back and side to side. And that's it for that one. The last thing we're going to do before we take another break is leg lifts to the side. So leg up, and then the other leg up. And the leg, you can try to keep it straight, and maybe think about reaching your heel for like the wall to the side of you. Like you could kick, like I'm going to kick my couch. I'm going to kick my table leg here, on the side of the foot. So just lifting. And so this is starting to work kind of the sides of the outer legs here. So we're just trying to get at things from different angles. And then take a really quick rest here. So here's the thing. If you're not breathing heavy, and I'm not breathing super heavy right now, but I am talking. So I'm not trying to take this up for myself. I'm trying to encourage you to take it up for you. If you're not breathing heavy, then you should be moving a little faster with these things. A little faster. Heavy is relative. You don't want to be like, I can't breathe. You don't want your heart racing so much you have to sit in a chair. But you shouldn't be able to comfortably carry on a conversation, like I'm trying to do here, and feel like if you can comfortably carry on a conversation while you're working out, you need to take it up a notch, which just means go a little faster. This last round, I'm going to give some variations with the weights that are going to add a little bit more challenge to the weight workout as well, so that we keep other parts of our body moving. We got 5 seconds left, and then we're going to go right into the same sequence we just did. Weights are going to be a minute this time. So first thing, cross the body, diagonal. Again, take it vigorous if you can. This can go really fast. Make sure if you want to bend into the knees, this is going to make it more vigorous. But again, if that's not for you, take it slow, take it easy, but just keep moving. Take it in whatever way you can. And keep the arms moving a little. Even if they can't go high, keep the arms moving as the legs are moving. Okay, 3, 2, 1, pick up the weights, bicep curls. Here's the deal. We got the hands forward, feet hip distance apart. As you curl, squat, and up, and squat. So this is like taking it up a level. If you don't want to take it up a level, just stay standing and just do your curls. But if you can take it up a level, the knees are going right towards the toes. Don't let them fall in against each other. So we're doing 2 exercises at the same time. Multitasking. Yep. We got 30 seconds left. Stay with it. If you've been working with weights for a while, 5 pounds on bicep curls is nothing. So you can do 5 pounds if you'd like, but if you want to actually start to build muscle, you're going to want to go with a heavier weight. 8 pounds, 10 pounds. I usually do 15 pounds, but I've been working out with them for a while and I've sort of built up to that. But you can too, if you just take it one step at a time. Okay, weights down. Next, again, just 30 seconds. Hamstring curls with a punch. Cross. If you can, and again, if you want to go deeper, bend the knees each time you come down. Really put some energy into your punch. If you need to take it easy, take it easy. Just pull the knees, heels up, and push across your body. But if you can take it more vigorous, take it where you can. You want to get your heart rate up in these little 30-second intervals so it's still up when we go to the weights. Okay, weights again. We're going to take our tricep and row. So bend the knees, sink the hips down, torso at an angle, pull and press, and in and down. Keep the shoulders lifted the whole time as you're doing this. I'm doing it from an angle so you can kind of see. I can show them both to you from the front. Shoulders are staying back, so I try not to let my shoulders drop down if possible. If my shoulders drop down, it would look like this. I would be hunched. So the shoulders are up, and then the weights come up behind my hips, and then I kick them back for the triceps. In and down. In. I don't claim to be perfect, but it's not so much about being perfect, it's about knowing what you're trying to do so that at least you're working in the right direction. Good. Keep breathing, and if you can go faster, but if you find you can go faster, what you probably need to do is go with heavier weights. Make sure you're working at your level. Good. Knees up, elbows across, in and in. And those arms can stay way up if you want to take it more vigorous. There's not a lot of jumping options in this one at this point, but you can take it faster. You can bring things closer together. You can step out wider. Whatever you need to do to get yourself moving so you start to breathe a little bit harder. And I know it's not super comfortable to do that, but it's only 30 seconds. You can do it for 30 seconds. Grab those weights again. Now we've got shoulders again. So we're going to do a shoulder press and down and in and down. If you want to take this one up, what we're going to do is actually going to lift up our heels and then lift up our heels. So we go up and down and in and up and down. So that we're working the calves here too. And just to multitask, because why waste time, right? You can do 2 exercises at the same time. Just do it. So one thing just to note that's important is the elbows aren't going all the way down, right? We're keeping the elbows up, and then as you bring the weights in, the elbows are level with the shoulders. Good. Keep going. If you start to breathe hard here, that's fine. You can take it down. If this is problematic for your shoulders, use no weight. Do it without weight. My weights are about to crash to the floor. Or you can just press straight out. Let's grab those weights again. Speaking of weights. Weights down, sorry. Lunges. So we're just going to lunge back and back. And this is really just for the legs, but anytime you want to take it up with arms, push, push. Arms out. Arms, whatever you want. Just move them. Run them forward and back. Whatever you need to do. So we're just lunging. Don't have to go back far, but step one foot behind the other. Now, weights again, if I have not lost them completely. With or without weights. Arms up to the front, and then arms out to the side. Here's how you take it up. Lunge back like we just did, but now we're adding the weights. This is a harder one. Because the arms are straight, you're going to need to go lighter on weights. If your shoulders are giving you any problem, no weights. Don't use the weights. Don't even worry about it. Go without the weights. Grab water bottles or something really light if you want to go light. 2 or 3 pounds is probably plenty. I'm using 5, and I can feel it working my shoulders. And so maybe you want to use 5 too. And honestly, everyone's different. So maybe your shoulders are no problem for you. Go ahead and just take the weights that you can. But if you start to feel your low back straining, that's a sign that the weights are too heavy and you're having to compensate. So we don't want that. All right, that's it. Let's go ahead and take our hip swivels. So just hips around, and around. And we're going to go one direction, and then we'll switch directions. So I'm looking at the clock. Don't worry about when we're going to switch. I'll tell you now switch. And this really is just moving everything in here. So this isn't so much, well, it could get a little vigorous. If you want to go crazy with it, go crazy with it. But we're just moving stuff, right? Now grab your weights, and now we're going to move specifically from side to side. So as we do this, and I'm a terrible example of this, we're trying not to swing the hips too far to the side, because then we're just kind of using the momentum of the legs. We want to really start to work the obliques and the center of the core part of the body, the torso. So if you can stabilize your hips and twist that midsection, that's the idea here. You can do this without weights, of course you can. The weight just adds that little extra. Good. So keep breathing. You know, if you're bored, you're like, I need to take this up. This isn't doing enough for me. Just move your legs in some way. So maybe you want to squat as you do it. You can do that. It may not be an issue. You might be plenty tired and being like, why would I ever want to take this up again? And that's fine. Let's let that go. And the last thing we're going to do is our side leg raises. So we're just lifting one leg to the side and then the other leg to the side. And this is just working that outer thigh. You might feel it in the inner thigh as well, which is doing the lifting. Maybe arms come up like a jumping jack if you want to. Maybe the hands need to stay on your hips. If you can move the arms, the heart rate's going to get up a little more, but you don't have to, right? So I think this should be available for everyone who wants to give it a try. And that's it. So that was 20 minutes, actually 19 minutes and 45 seconds of exercises. And it went by fast because the intervals mean everything's broken up into teeny tiny chunks. So now if you'd like to give yourself a little chance to stretch, I got a couch right here, so it's super convenient for me to put my foot up and just fold over a leg. Fold over a leg. You can do that. You've got a chair. Some of you might be able to fold straight over your legs, forward fold, but this is one leg at a time, so it's kind of nice. And if you've got something right here, you can do this seated on the floor too. If you don't want to worry about getting down and up off the floor, just folding right here, stretching out the leg a little. Technically, stretches should be taken for longer than like 3 breaths. If you can take them for 30 seconds or more, that's going to be the ideal for the body. Arms a little bit, stretching across the body. Breathe. You can take a lunge while you're doing this. Again, I talk about multitasking. If you want to lunge while you're crossing the arm, go ahead and do that. Step that foot forward and then lunge back. So if you're taking a lunge, anytime you're taking a lunge, I always encourage, and it's hard to see my legs here, try to keep the front knee over the ankle. If we start to get the front knee past the ankle, that's actually bad for that front standing knee. We want to build this quad and strengthen there, but we don't want to compromise the actual joint itself. Reach the arms up, overhead, and then exhale, hands down, sink the knees down. Inhale, come up, reach the arms. Exhale, sink down. One more time, inhale, come up, and exhale. And that's your workout. You enjoyed? Didn't take too long. Come back for more. If you want to repeat this workout, I recommend doing, I'm not a doctor, so my recommendations, take them with a grain of salt, please. But I recommend doing resistance training, something with weights, maybe 3 times a week. If you're not used to doing it, once a week is probably a good place to start, but you could build up towards working on it 3 times a week. Thanks.